Every so often, there is a moment in time that has the potential to change everything. This is one of those moments. You just simply replace "I can't" with "how can I?" It's not your fault when unfair circumstances knock you down. But it's always your responsibility to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move yourself forward. If you're going to think like MacGyver, if you're going to switch from "I can't" to "how can I," say yes, yes? Okay, now it's time to get to work. Okay, what in the world am I talking about when I say think big and act small, right? Big thinking, act small. A lot of times people will try to dissuade folks from having big ambitions, big dreams. I remember when I worked one of my only real jobs, or whatever they call a real job, I had a manager that sat me down for a goal setting session, and I told him my goals, and he proceeded to say, "Oh, that's not really that realistic." I was like, "Well, what do you mean it's not that realistic?" He says, "Well, I want you to create some more realistic goals. These goals are just too big." I didn't get that. And a lot of times when you have an entrepreneurial mindset, or when you have ambitions to do something big, and it doesn't need to be something in business, right? It could be personal as well. Like maybe you want to lose 80 pounds. That's big. It's a big ambition. It's a big goal. Or maybe you want to run a marathon or an Ironman or some sort of crazy race like that, the MS 150 or some sort of long bike race or something. Those are ambitious. Those are big. Maybe you want to start a company, or maybe you want to start the next Apple or the next Airbnb or whatever the case may be. That's ambitious. The goal is that by the end of this podcast, you have the strategy that you need to take that big, audacious goal you have and actually start to make progress right now. And I do not care what goal you have. I don't care what it is. It could be in business. It could be in relationship. It could be in your personal life, your fitness, your health, wellness, your mindfulness. You want to learn a new language. It really doesn't matter. That's up to you. Thinking big is awesome. What people associate that with, though, is these big actions, right? So if I have this big crazy goal, that means I've got to go out and do all these big things. I've got to make huge leaps towards this. And that couldn't be further from the truth. It starts with something small. And it's the small things that get overlooked. The small things get overlooked, and then people don't make actual progress. They get frustrated and they give up. That's the normal path. So let's break that cycle by helping you understand what the value of these small things is. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's everything. The small things are everything. It's going to be a bunch of little things happening every single day in and day out, without fail. It's your relentless commitment to doing something to get closer to your goal, even if it's something small. I'm going to repeat that because this is key. It's your relentless commitment to do something to get closer to your goal, even if it's something small. This is tough for some folks, but we're going to break it down. It starts with the focusing question. You need to understand the focusing question. Talked about it in another podcast. For those that haven't listened to that, I'm going to break it down here too. What's the one thing I can do right now such that by doing it, everything else is either easier or unnecessary? It's called the focusing question. What's the one thing I can do right now such that by doing it, everything else is either easier or unnecessary? Then you take that focusing question, and then we couple that with a tactic called goal setting to the now. And goal setting to the now is, in my opinion, best described like those matryoshka dolls. Those are those Russian dolls where you may not know what they're called, but you've probably seen them. It's a doll, and then it's a little wooden kind of thing, and then it's got a little part in the middle where you can open it up. So you open it up, and inside is another doll, and then you take that one and you open that one up, and then inside of that is another doll, and then you keep doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that until when you get to the last doll, it's this tiny, tiny little thing. Sometimes, a quarter of an inch or smaller, depending on the set that you get. And it's kind of cool. It's a great representation, though, of how you can and should be thinking about your goals. You take that big thing and, okay, that's what I want to do, but in order to do that, I need to do this. In order to do this, I need to do that. And you just keep doing that until you get to that thing that you can do. What's the one thing I can do right now such that by doing it, everything else is either easier or unnecessary? Building a house. Can you start moving furniture in before you frame up the walls? Can you do plumbing and all this before you pour the foundation? Can you put in lighting fixtures before you clear the land? There's an order to this thing. And you have to stick to the order. If you don't stick to the order, if you do it out of order, you're not going to get there. All right, so how do we get there? Goal setting to the now. Here's how it works. First thing you need is your someday goal. Your someday goal. And I'm going to break it down and get from someday to now. So you're asking yourself, and when I go through this, if 5 years and 1 year and all of that don't quite match up, because I don't know your goal, obviously, then you can alter those. But keep in mind, this is supposed to be something big. You can do it on a small scale as well. It works. It works. It works with cleaning your room. It works with making your bed. It works with anything. Cleaning out the garage. It really does work with cleaning out the garage, which seems like most people have to do, at least quarterly. There's a moment where they're like, there's just stuff everywhere, I have to clean it. So, first of all, it comes with that big goal, that big thing. We'll call that your someday goal. What's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years to reach my someday goal? And you're like, okay, well, what's that mean? Okay, you figure out what you can do in the next 5 years. Okay, in the next 5 years, in order to set this up, I got to do this. Okay, great. Now you got your 5-year goal. Now we go again. What's the one thing I can do this year to make sure that I reach my 5-year goal? It's like, oh, okay, well, in order to reach the 5-year goal, I got to do this year, and that'll set me up to reach my 5-year goal. Okay, great. So now you know what you need to do this year. But then keep going. What's one thing I can do this month to make sure I hit my 1-year goal? Okay, to hit my 1-year goal, I got to do something this month, and that'll be this. Okay, great. Now you get your 1-month goal. Well, let's keep going. What's one thing I can do this week to make sure I reach my 1-month goal? Yeah, because a month is, okay, yeah, so that's 4 weeks. So what do I do this week? Okay, great. Yeah, I got to make sure I'm here because that'll let me make sure I'm in progress. Okay, great. And then you say, well, great. Now you've got your 1-week goal. Well, let's keep going. What's the one thing I can do today to make sure I reach my 1-week goal? Okay, well, got it. All right, cool. Now you've got your day goal. But let's go one more further. What's the one thing I can do right now to make sure that I reach my 1-day goal? Now you're ready. But goal setting to the now, I want to make sure that this is very clear. You don't skip steps. You can't skip the step. You have to break it down slowly from your someday goal to the right now goal. You've done it right if at the end you have something you can do. You have to do the exercise correctly, which means answer the actual question. What's one thing I can do? When you get to the right now, it's something you can do. And here's a little trick for people who are going to do this and then try to claim that it doesn't work because the thing that they got to, because the goal that they have is so big, and I need this much, I need to do this, I got to do that. I talked to an entrepreneur the other day that said, I need funding. I need funding in order to build my product, and I can't do anything otherwise. I'm stuck. That's not true. I challenged that entrepreneur to come up with something that they could control, that they could do. I explained to them that if they sit there and wait for that funding, it will never come. Because what investor wants to invest in an entrepreneur that won't take matters into their own hands and have their MacGyver moment? Who would invest in somebody who won't make something happen with what they have? So, the trick is really simple. It's really simple, and you have to be true to this question. How do I make it smaller? If you can't do that one thing right now, the simple reason behind that is it's too big. Okay, make it smaller. Well, I can't do that. Okay, great, make it smaller. I need to get a pickup truck for my goal. I need a pickup truck. Okay, you need a pickup truck. Okay, get a pickup truck. I can't afford a pickup truck. Okay, I can't afford a pickup truck. Okay, then what do? How do you make that smaller? Well, I gotta make some money. Okay, great. Make some money. Well, I don't have a job. Okay, looks like you need to get a job. In order to get a job, I don't have a resume. Okay, make a resume. I can't make a resume because I don't know. I've never made one before. And, oh, by the way, I can't read. Oh, you can't read? Well, guess what? If you need to be able to know how to read to get a job to make money to get a pickup truck, and get a pickup truck to reach whatever goal it is you have, well, now you know what your one thing is. Get started on those ABCs. Don't sit there and complain that you can't do it because it's too big, or you can't do it because there's a blocker in the way. That means you're doing it wrong. You have to make it smaller. Make it small enough for you to do, and then go do it.